Introducing your hot girl designer Simone. She's enjoying her croissant at a beautiful park on a beautiful Sunday. She seems to be relaxed, but she's actually having really bad anxiety. No. She's been overthinking, procrastinating, and disassociating. But as she promised to her people on TikTok that she would start her YouTube channel, she's finally doing it! And for today's video, she's gonna make a Miffy holding a croissant. The software we're going to use today is called Nomasculpt, which is available on your iPad, but it costs about $15. I think it's a really good way to start 3D sculpturing or modeling if you're new to the 3D world. Personally, for me, it's just more accessible and easier and more intuitive than Blender or Unity or any other kind of 3D softwares. Let's get into the tutorial part without further ado. I'm gonna skip the introductions of all the basic functions and tools because they're boring and you don't really need to know all of them. All you need to master is the basic sphere model, the drag tool, and the symmetry function. First of all, click on the triangle thing on the top right and make sure the radial axis is turned on. Now let's start with making the shape of Miffy's head by using the drag tool. I drag out the bottom a little bit so it's not a perfect circle shape. The second step is to make Miffy's ears. Let's add another sphere by clicking on this weird little icon. Now we have another sphere. We want to make it longer and skinnier to look like the shape of a rabbit ear. We can do this easily by using the gizmo thing. Then I adjusted the positions and rotated the ear by turning around the blue line. Once it's in a good position, we use the symmetry mirror tool again to make a duplicate, but make sure you click on world instead of local. I thought the tip of ears is a little bit too sharp, so I used the drag tool again and dragged it out a little bit. Now we have a pair of perfect ears. Isn't it amazing? Now let's make Miffy's body by duplicating the head. This is a very similar process to sculpting the ears. We use the gizmo thing to adjust the size, the positions, and then we can use the drag tool to further sculpt the shape of the body. Then we're going to make the arms and the feet. Again, the process is very similar to how we make the ears. We add a sphere, adjust the size and the position, and then mirror them to the other side by clicking on World Symmetry. We have the basic shape of Miffy's body now. The next step is making its clothes, which can be a little bit tricky, but let me show you how. Let's click on the body and rename the sphere as body, and we do the same with the arm. Alrighty, let's duplicate it. Make sure the hand and the body duplicate are both selected, and then click on Joint. The two objects are now jointed as one object, and we want to remesh it. Let's add some colors and the material to the cloth so it's more visible when we adjust it. What we're going to do now is click on Gizmo and adjust the thickness by dragging it out a little bit. Let's use the drag tool again to drag out the sleeves and adjust any parts on the clothing that's a little bit weird. We almost have everything ready. The final step is painting Miffy's facial features. There are two different ways to do it. The first one is select the paint tool and directly paint on the surface of Miffy's face. The second method is better, but it's a little bit more complicated. Maybe I can talk about it in another video, but essentially what I did is that I created a photo in Procreate, and then I imported it into Nomasculpt and stamped it onto Miffy's face. Now I'm gonna fast forward the croissant making part because I personally hate long tutorials. I am just not a very patient queen. What I did essentially was using the tube tool and make 3 different layers on top of each other, added the crunchy texture by using the crease tool, and then added the different materials and colors. And finally, I put it onto Miffy's hand. Finally, this is the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.